So finally, what we discussed in previous class, DNA fingerprinting involves the study of DNA polymorphism, which is in the form of VNTR or STR or SNP. DNA polymorphism in the form of STR or VNTR or SNP is studied with the help of restriction digestion, so that there is identification of the DNA fragments. So after that, breaking with the restriction enzymes and separating the DNA fragment, we can sequence. I mean, in previous classes we discussed DNA sequencing tools. There are two methods of DNA sequencing. What are the two methods of DNA sequencing? DNA sequencing involves Maxim-Gilbert method and Sanger's method. So that restriction fragment length polymorphism, whatever formed here, that is analyzed with the help of DNA sequencing tools. So with the help of DNA sequencing tools, that DNA similarities or DNA polymorphism is understood. So if we study that DNA polymorphism, then we can compare the DNA between the two members, so that it is easy. Okay. See now, what is the methodology or protocol of DNA fingerprinting? Protocol or methodology of DNA fingerprinting. Here, this genetic fingerprinting or DNA fingerprinting is there, na? This is also called DNA typing. DNA typing or DNA profiling. DNA fingerprinting, which is genetic fingerprinting, is also called DNA typing or DNA profiling. What is DNA typing? What is DNA typing? Anyone? Madangi left. Madhuri is there in class? What is DNA typing? I am asking. Okay. What is DNA typing? DNA typing means typing the sequence. No. Here we are determining the blood group system. ABO blood group system is also called as blood group typing. Yeah, detect normal variations in DNA. Very good, Rajalakshmi. Here, blood group typing is there now. What is blood group typing? Finding the blood groups. Similarly, here finding the DNA, that is DNA typing. Variations we are studying. DNA profile is checked. That is DNA profiling. Okay? Here, what are the steps or methodology of this DNA fingerprinting means? First method is isolation or collection of the sample DNA. Collection of sample DNA. That means which sample we need to identify or which sample it is available. The DNA sample may be taken from blood sample, saliva or sperm samples or bones, like that we can collect. Okay, even hairs also, not hair roots, because hair is a protein. Hair root has DNA. Hair has no DNA because hair is a protein. Here hair root has some cells. Okay, at the beginning of the hair there is presence of some white color structure, hair roots, that has DNA. So this samples first we need to collect. Suppose this is used for detection or finding the criminals, I told you, right? That is used to find the criminals. Suppose we are finding the criminals means in the crime scene, whatever the sample is available, that sample we need to collect. That sample may be blood or saliva or sperm or bone or hair roots. So that is first step, collection of DNA sample. Then the DNA is subjected to restriction digestion. Restriction digestion. What is restriction digestion means? Breaking DNA with a different restriction enzyme. Breaking DNA with restriction endonucleases or restriction enzymes. By using these restriction enzymes, DNA molecule is cutting with restriction endonucleases. Suppose a long DNA molecule is available. When long DNA molecule is available, if we add some restriction endonucleases and break the DNA, there is formation of small fragments of the DNA. This DNA may be broken down into small fragments. Small fragments of DNA will be obtained. That is restriction digestion. Okay? That is what we are using, restriction endonucleases for we are using. And amplification of DNA. Amplification of DNA by a method called PCR, which we called polymerase chain reaction. Polymerase chain reaction, which we call PCR. PCR is a step which is used to multiply the number of DNA. Suppose this single DNA is there. Suppose from crime scene, yeah, these are, that only I told you. This is the protocol of DNA fingerprinting or DNA typing, I told you. Protocol means process or methodology or steps or procedure or the experimental protocol. Okay. Here, polymerase chain reaction is used to amplify the DNA. Why there is a need of amplification of DNA is a question. Why there is a need of amplification? Why, suppose in crime scene, a small DNA sample is available to us. A small DNA sample, a drop of blood or a piece of hair root or something is available. Then how to analyze that? A small DNA is available means for one or two analysis or one or two comparisons, it may be not available. They are not enough. A single piece of DNA is not enough to compare. Suppose a crime scene happened. In crime scene, we suspect, suppose 100 persons of accused person. There are 100 suspects from a crime scene. Okay, but in crime scene, a small drop of blood is available. So that blood, is that blood enough to compare with all 100 people? No. So once we complete the test, then we don't have evidence. That is, the blood sample is only evidence, which is we are calling biological evidence or molecular evidence, genetic evidence. That evidence is very little bit amount, but for comparing with more people, that is not enough. So for comparing with more people, the sample is identified. Why we are digesting means, I told you, Vishwanath, short tandem repeats are there. That short tandem repeats are different from one person to another person. By restriction digestion, we can form that short tandem repeat. Okay, once we complete the process, then you can understand. That is third step. What is that? Amplification of the DNA by polymerase chain reaction. And next step is breaking of double-stranded DNA to single strands. Double-strand DNA to single strands by a method called alkaline hydrolysis. Alkaline hydrolysis, or by adding alkaline chemicals, that double-stranded DNA can be opened into two separate single strands. So what happens there? The double-stranded DNA is, first long DNA is broken down into small fragments, short fragments. The short fragments, whatever they form, the hydrogen bonds present between short fragments are broken down. If we break that short fragments, then this double-stranded DNA will be opened into single strands. That is next step. 1 second. Then fifth step. Separation of DNA fragments with agarose gel electrophoresis. All these processes will come in biotechnology. In biotechnology, we'll come across all the experiments. What is restriction digestion? It will come there. What is polymerase chain reaction? It also comes there. And alkaline hydrolysis, isolation of the DNA, collection of the DNA, agarose gel electrophoresis. In detail, we will study the process or methodologies of agarose gel electrophoresis, alkaline hydrolysis, polymerase chain reaction, restriction enzymes, DNA isolation, everything. Amplification is within short time, a small fraction of DNA will be multiplied into millions of copies. A small DNA is there, or the small fragments of DNA are there. Within 1 hour or within 2 hours, we can multiply the DNA into millions of copies. Okay, 1 million copies can be produced within 1 hour or 1 hour 10 minutes, like that. Okay, PCR is a polymerase chain reaction, which is amplification. More DNA number are produced. So once it is produced by PCR, then they are separated, separated into single strands by alkaline hydrolysis. Okay, after alkaline hydrolysis, that is subjected to agarose gel electrophoresis. Yeah, nitrocellulose or nylon membrane. By using nylon membrane or nitrocellulose filter paper or agarose gel. This is agarose gel. You are saying about nitrocellulose nylon membrane, that is blotting technique. That is blotting technique. Here agarose gel electrophoresis is carried. See now, what happens if DNA fragments are separated on agarose gel electrophoresis? So normally what happens during agarose gel electrophoresis means this agarose gel plate is from agarose, which is a polysaccharide produced from red algae. Agarose is a polysaccharide produced from red algae that has a sieve property. Some porous structure is there. So that is taken and DNA sample is placed in this gel plate. Gel like that, a flat surface like structure with this thickness and this quadrant shape that is prepared. And some holes are made into that this DNA fragment. DNA sample is placed and it is placed near the cathode. And power supply is attached. What happens if power supply is attached? What happens? DNA fragments are placed near the cathode and power supply is attached. Amrin, what happens if power supply is attached or power supply is connected to the DNA plate where DNA is near the negative electrode? Now we connected the power. What happens now? Charges flow. Okay. How charges will flow? I am asking about charge of the DNA, not charge of the entire medium. Electrophoresis, chopped DNA is cut into fragments passed. Yeah, chopped DNA will move. DNA fragments we made na. This DNA fragments, yeah, electrolytes will move towards anode. Okay. What is the charge of DNA? What is the charge of DNA? negative charge, minus charge is there. As the negative charge is there, it will move towards positively charged electron. Yes or no? So the DNA fragment will be moving towards positive electrode, which is anode. So the DNA fragment we should place near the cathode, they will migrate towards the anode. That migration is depending on charge of the particle. All particles have same type of charge, and size of the particle also. Size of the particle. What is the size of particle means? Suppose small sized particles will move fast and large sized particle will move slow. Migration will be small particles move fast and large DNA fragments which have more length, they will be moving slow. So once we complete this, see what happens on agarose gel plate. This is the agarose gel plate after the completion of the separation. What happens? Large DNA fragments will be near the cathode because their movement is slow, and smaller DNA fragments will be far away moving. Larger DNA fragment is there means that will be moving slowly, and smaller DNA molecules will be moving very fastly. So based on their length, they will be moved to separate places on gel plates. They will be separated on gel plate based on the size of the DNA fragments. Yes or no? Now that DNA fragments are now transferred by using blotting, are transferred to nitrocellulose filter paper, or nylon membrane. Onto a nylon membrane or nitrocellulose filter paper, DNA fragments are moved, transferred from agarose gel plate. Now agarose gel plate has this DNA. Now they are transferred onto nitrocellulose filter paper or nylon membrane. That process of transferring the DNA from this agarose gel plate to nylon membrane is called what? Blotting. Okay. Then after separating that or transferring that DNA fragments from agarose gel plate onto nitrocellulose filter paper or nylon membrane, then the DNA is subjected with the treatment. Then DNA fragments are then treated with another DNA fragment which we know the sequence called radio-labeled DNA probe. Radio-labeled means which have radioactivity, phosphorus 32 like that. Radio-labeled DNA probe. Probe means a DNA fragment with a known sequence. This sequence we already know, that known sequence with radioactivity. DNA probe. What is DNA probe means? A short DNA fragment which is radioactively DNA is present. Radioactive DNA what we are taking is called as DNA probe. So after this blotting, what we did from this gel plate, they are transferred to nitrocellulose filter paper or nylon membrane. Suppose this is nitrocellulose filter paper or nylon membrane, where the DNA fragments which are present here, they are transferred like this. After that, what we did? After that, DNA probes are added. When DNA probes are added, probes sequence we know. Probes are already known DNA sequences. To this probes, when we add probes with this blotted nylon membrane, what happens? This probes, when it is added, the probes which have complementary to the separated DNA fragments, they will bind with the DNA that have complementary sequence. This is called what? Hybridization. Hybridization. What is that hybridization? Binding of DNA probe with short DNA fragments. Hybridization takes place. Okay? Then what happens? The next step is a photographic film is placed on nylon membrane to see the pattern. A photographic film is placed on this nylon membrane. So why we are placing this photographic film means, here probes we added to this. The probes which are bound with this DNA fragment, they are radioactive in nature. As they are radioactive in nature, they will emit the radiation. That emitting of radiation we can watch across the photographic film. So by using photographic film, then we can watch or we can identify the radioactivity. Okay, this will produce thick and thin dark bands. This will form, or we can subject this to autoradiography also. The observing the hybridized nylon membrane with probe. Here nylon membrane is now hybridized with the probe. This is probe, this is probe, this is probe. Probe has radioactivity. As the probe has radioactivity, now we subjected to photographic film. That is what autoradiography. After autoradiography, what happens? Next step, we can observe there is radioactive labels producing thin and thick bands. Now, radio-labeled elements. What is that? Radio-labeled, radioactive. Radioactive labels. What is this label? DNA probe is the label. That radioactive label will expose or emit thin and thick bands. The thin and thick bands we can observe with the help of photoradiography. I mean photographic film or autoradiography. So the thin and thick bands what we are developing, that is called as DNA fingerprints. DNA fingerprint. What is blotting? What is blotting means, first we will separate the DNA in agarose gel electrophoresis by using electrophoretic unit or current charge. By applying electrolysis, we separate the DNA on agarose gel electrophoresis, right? Now, this is agarose gel electrophoresis which has DNA fragments means. Now, from that agarose gel electrophoresis, the DNA fragments what are present on agarose gel electrophoresis are then transferred to a nylon membrane. A nylon membrane is kept there. A nylon membrane is kept over the agarose gel electrophoresis, and it is subjected to a buffer solution. So due to that capillary action will be there. Due to that capillary action, the DNA fragments what are present on agarose gel plate. This is agarose gel plate which has DNA. Now that DNA fragment will be transferred to the nylon membrane, because agarose gel plate, nylon membrane both are there. So now the DNA fragment will be transferred to this. As the DNA fragments are transferred to this nylon membrane we can use for rest of the process. Okay, this is separated nylon membrane. Suppose this is a nylon membrane. To this nylon membrane we are adding DNA probe. Probe means a short DNA fragment with radioactivity. Short DNA fragment with radioactivity is called as DNA probe. That DNA probes have a particular nucleotide sequence. Here, there is formation of many fragments of DNA on breaking with restriction enzyme. As we cut the DNA with restriction enzyme, there is formation of many fragments of the DNA. Right? That only I am explaining. Wait. There is formation of many fragments with restriction enzymes. Now, if we add the DNA probe which has a complementary sequence to this, they will bind with the sequences. Probe has radioactivity. Okay? That radioactive probe will bind to the DNA fragment. So the binding of that probe with this short fragment will be random. And after binding, when we observe that, after hybridization, when we observe that in autoradiography, there is development of thin and thick bands of DNA. That thin and thick bands of DNA, what we are observing, that is called DNA fingerprinting. Okay? Now, Ashwin Sham, Lisandra, what is this step means? Ashwin Sham. This is agarose gel plates. On agarose gel plates, it has a connection with cathode and anode. Cathode and anode are connected. The DNA fragments, what we discussed, here once the DNA is taken, right, the DNA what we taken, that is cut with restriction enzyme. That means many pieces of DNA are formed. That many fragments of DNA now subjected to electrophoresis here. Electrophoresis means movement of charged particles under the influence of electric field. Movement of charged particles in electric field is electrophoresis. DNA is a negatively charged molecule. As it is a negatively charged molecule, when electricity is supplied, it will move towards the positively charged electrode. The movement is based on the size of the DNA particle. As DNA is a negatively charged particle, it will move towards the positively charged anode. Okay. That movement is, speed of movement, rate of movement is based on the size of the DNA. DNA is small in size means it will move very fast. DNA is large in size means that will move slowly. So based on that movement, smaller molecules will be moving very fast near to anode and larger molecules will be moving slowly. So that the different sizes are present. Yeah, based on cutting. We added restriction enzymes, right? Restriction enzymes only break the DNA with a different length. DNA will be cut into different lengths based on the restriction enzymes. Okay, different restriction enzymes we are using. When we use restriction enzymes, DNA with a different length will be formed. That DNAs which have different lengths will be separated on agarose gel electrophoresis. That is the point. What Ashwini? Ashwini Shama? Understand? Okay, right. So finally what we did? By agarose gel electrophoresis, we can observe the pattern of DNA cutting. In NCERT, a better diagram is also given. You can refer the diagram after the class. In NCERT. So finally, this is subjected to autoradiography, means sometimes there is formation of thick bands, light bands, dark bands, like that we can observe based on the amount of DNA present there. So finally, by using that we can identify the DNA. So suppose how to identify comparison. Suppose take an example. An example we will see, next we will see application. Otherwise, first see applications of DNA fingerprinting, then we can understand. I mean, as an example, we will take a paternity case. paternity case we will see. Can I erase? Yes, okay. Applications of DNA fingerprinting, then we will see an example of application, how to solve a paternity case. Applications. First one is conservation of wildlife. Biodiversity conservation complete, biodiversity and its conservation. Chapter. No, okay. What is wildlife? Wild animals which are present in forest, their number is decreasing day by day. So as their number is decreasing day by day, we can conserve the wildlife which are endangered species. Endangered species can be protected. By using this DNA fingerprinting, I mean comparison of the organisms we can do, and we can protect endangered species. Endangered species whose number is decreasing. So by comparing the DNA or by finding the species, we can protect them. That is one. And in taxonomy, we can use taxonomical approach. How DNA fingerprinting will be useful in taxonomy? So by using this taxonomy, I mean DNA fingerprinting in taxonomy, we can find phylogenetic relations or phylogenetic relationship. What is a phylogenetic relationship? From one generation to next generation. That is phylogeny. That phylogenetic relationship we can use. Based on that can be used for taxonomy or classification also. Then pedigree analysis. Pedigree analysis is a process where we can find the pattern of inheritance from generation to next generation. Pattern of inheritance between generations. That we can identify by using a method called pedigree analysis. Pedigree means, a flow chart of the inheritance from one person. Suppose mother, father. From this mother, father, how many persons are born? Boy, girl, like that. Suppose he marries another person, means then how many persons are there? Here, what is the abnormalities? Second point, phylogenetic relationship. Phylogenetic relationship means, suppose one organism is there, means we don't know which category it is belonging. So we can compare the DNA of their ancestors. We can compare the DNA of their ancestors so that we can understand the differences or the similarities between them, and we can use them in classification. And pedigree analysis means pattern of inheritance between generation can be easily studied by using DNA fingerprinting. Then forensic analysis. Forensic, this is very good application what we are using now. Forensic analysis. Forensic analysis means investigative departments and investigation and finding criminals. To find criminals, this DNA fingerprinting is majorly useful. Forensic analysis. And fifth one, medico-legal issues. To solve medico-legal issues. What is this? Paternity or maternity? Paternity or maternity can be find. Who is original father, who is original mother? Like that we can find. That is medico-legal approach. Then anthropological studies. Anthropological studies. Anthropological studies means migration of the people. Migration of people can be easily understood by using this DNA fingerprinting. And we can find genetically modified organisms. Genetically modified organisms. These are major applications of DNA fingerprinting. See, one by one I will explain. First one, conservation of the wildlife. I told you. Endangered species or any animals are endangered means by using DNA fingerprinting, relationship between some other organisms we can find and we can protect them. That is conservation of wildlife. Taxonomical approach I told you. Phylogenetic relationship we can study. The relation of an organism with their ancestors can be studied and they can be used in classification of particular class or order or family, genus, species, like that. Pedigree analysis I told you. Then forensic studies, finding the criminals. I mean, if any murders or any crime scene happened means in that crime scene we can find anything. Even to find dead bodies also we can use. Suppose some dead bodies are burnt, we don't have evidence to find, that also can be studied by using this one. And forensic studies I told you. Medico-legal issues, paternity issues, maternity issues, who is father, who is mother, for that also. Especially I think before 2 years a popular case ran in India regarding that paternity, maternity, especially paternity only. Do you know N.D. Tiwari? N.D. Tiwari. An example I am saying. N.D. Tiwari. Who is N.D. Tiwari? How many persons in class? Just 1 or 3. Who is N.D. Tiwari? UP CM, politician. Wow. He is former governor of, yeah, please move sir. Yeah, okay. Former governor of Andhra Pradesh. Former governor of Andhra Pradesh. Ex-governor. A person named Rahul, I think, I don't know a person. He is also a famous lawyer. Rahul, I think. Rahul, I think. Yeah, Rahul only. A person named Rahul who is a advocate, lawyer. He filed a case in Supreme Court that N.D. Tiwari is my father. N.D. Tiwari is my father. Like that he claimed in Supreme Court. Many courts he approached, but they didn't investigate. Finally, he approached the Supreme Court with some evidence. When he approached the Supreme Court, then the case was handed over to CCMB, which is in Hyderabad, Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology. Here, then, with the help of this DNA fingerprinting, they found that N.D. Tiwari is the original father of that person. N.D. Tiwari is his father only, but N.D. Tiwari said, no, I am not his father, like that N.D. Tiwari said. But later it was proved that he is the son of N.D. Tiwari. Like that paternity case, we can find who is original father or who is original mother. That we can find. Anthropological studies means migration of the people. Suppose in some countries there is some, fights are going on. Okay, in India also Citizenship Act came. CI, Citizen Act of India, something came last year. According to that, the people who have identity, they will be only residents of India, like that an act came, released before 1 year or 2 years, I think. According to them, the migrants will not be considered as true Indians or residents of India. How to find who is the native of India, who is non-native of India? So by using DNA fingerprinting, they will collect the DNA and they will compare with one place. One place of the person have some segments of DNA, some sequences of DNA, so they have some characters. That DNA we can take, and the person's DNA we can take, and we can compare and the similarities, so that we can find to which origin or to which place originally they are belonging. So migration of the people from one country to another country means that also we can find by using DNA fingerprinting. And genetically modified organisms. Genetically modified organisms. What is genetically modified organisms means? By biotechnology we can produce hybrids, recombinant hybrids. By taking DNA from one organism, we can introduce the DNA into new organism. So that new organism will get both characters. Okay, that is what genetically modified organisms which are produced by biotechnology. That genetically modified organisms also we can study and find by using this DNA fingerprinting. Okay, these are applications of DNA fingerprinting. So what they will do with the thin and thick bands? The formation of thin and thick bands, that will help us in comparison. I will tell you that example so that you can understand. Can I erase the board now? Yes. Suppose take an example. DNA typing. DNA typing in a paternity case. Paternity case. Suppose a woman gave birth to a newborn baby, and that woman claimed that one particular person is the father of my child. Like that he accused. Okay, a accused person, man, that person is being father of that child to whom a woman gave birth, newborn baby. Then what they will do? They will collect the DNA from 3 people. They will collect the DNA from the 3 people. That means woman is there, a father, a man is there, and baby's DNA, both they will collect. 3 DNAs are collected separately. The 3 DNAs are subjected to entire protocol. What is that protocol? Selection of the DNA, cutting with restriction enzymes, then amplification by using polymerase chain reaction, then after amplification, agarose gel electrophoresis, then blotting techniques, then hybridization with DNA probe, then autoradiography. Which place they will collect the DNA? If a person is available, we can collect the DNA by taking blood sample. Right. Selection of the DNA, I told you. Blood or hair root, what I told you, bone, sperm cells. What are they? Ashwini Shama. Think wisely. Okay. That's any DNA we can collect, and that DNA now entire process is carried up to autoradiography. Then after autoradiography, they found that DNA bank of baby, father, mother analyzed. They analyzed the DNA of the baby and father, mother. Suppose mother DNA is taken, baby's DNA is here, and that man DNA who is accused to be a father, that 3 DNAs we collected, and the 3 DNAs, when they are separated on agarose gel electrophoresis and some other techniques, finally autoradiography is subjected, and they studied the identification of STR and VNTR. STR and VNTR. So some part of the DNA, see, as we took a woman, I mean a man as a father and woman as a mother we took. So if this person is original father, how this baby will get? 50% DNA will come from mother and 50% DNA will come from the father. They will enter the baby. So this baby has 50% of DNA from father and 50% of DNA from the mother. Yes or no? Because this is female gamete is producing 50% DNA, male gamete gets 50% of DNA, finally there is formation. So when they are identified, suppose there is a band which is formed, which is specific to that mother. Mother produced 2 bands here like this. After agarose gel electrophoresis, mother DNA, after cutting with restriction digestion and a final step, there is a formation of 2 bands of DNA. Okay. Father DNA formed another 2 bands here and here. 2 bands of father are formed. This is father DNA, man. I wrote the somewhat side. Now you can understand. Here, man. Now, if we observe the baby DNA, if the baby is the daughter or son, if this baby born to this man means, then any part of the man DNA among 2 that will match with, one will match with father and one will match with mother. Yes or no? So 50% of DNA is coming from mother. So here mother has 50% and here 50% means, so some fragment or some strands of DNA, some part of DNA will match with baby. This indicates that this baby, I mean she is the mother of this baby. And baby's DNA is also matching. Rest of the baby DNA is matching with this man means this indicates that he is the father of the baby. Like that we can conclude. Okay. Otherwise, see now, in another case, same experiment we did, but after experiment results came like this. Woman, not mother, woman, man, baby DNA. Woman has 2 DNA fragments formed like this. Man has 2 another DNA. This baby DNA is like this now. Then from this what we can conclude? From this what we can conclude? Tell me. The man is the father of baby because it is matching. But woman is not the mother of the baby because any two of mother is not matching with the baby. Okay, mother's DNA is not matching. Woman is not the mother of the baby, but man is the father of the baby. Another condition, same result we got in another kind. Woman, baby, father. Man. Man had DNA bands like this. A woman had DNA bands like this. And baby had two DNA bands like this. From this, what we can conclude? How many lengths they differ? This is, woman is mother, but man is not father. This fragment for understanding only I wrote at different lengths. Suppose we got results like this, then we can conclude both woman and man, they are the parents of the baby. Suppose if we get that result, here mother DNA is not matching with the baby, means this woman is not the mother of the baby, and man's DNA is matching with baby, so he is the father of the baby. Here mother's DNA is matching, so she is the mother. For man's DNA is not matching, so he is not the father. Like that we can solve the paternity and maternity cases. Now whatever it is, thick band or thin band, that is not at all issue. All may be thick band or thin band. Yeah, excellent doubt. Who is that? Ramakrishna, very good doubt. Suppose here it is matching. Suppose this man has a homozygous twin. This man has a homozygous twin. That is the doubt. Excellent doubt it is. If the man has a homozygous twin, then DNA fingerprint says any of the two brothers, homozygous twins are there, na? That homozygous twins, two persons are there. One person is accused, another person is not accused, means any of the twins can be father. Any, not both. Anyone can be twins. In homozygous condition only. Homozygous twins means that is possible. Any of that homozygous twins can be father of the baby. Yeah, both have same DNA fingerprint. Yes. Will all the bands, yeah, baby's DNA 50% will match with the mother and remaining 50% will match with the father. Yeah, what is the doubt he asked is, a man was accused to be a father. Yes or no? A man was accused to be a father. Okay, here this man has homozygous twins. Homozygous twins means two brothers are there, siblings. Homozygous twins are there. Two twins are there. One person is accused. Only one person is accused to be the man, father. Then the DNA fingerprinting, when we find this data, this homozygous twins are there, na? Both have same DNA because the two persons, one man, man one, man two. Both have same DNA. As they are homozygous twins, they have the same DNA. Any one of that homozygous twins may be a father. How to find father in that case means this mother only can say. Woman only can say who is the father. That is a legal issue, that is ethic issue. That is legal and ethical issue. Okay? Alright. This is about DNA fingerprinting, already 5 minutes late. We will continue in next class.